Hello and welcome to the Mill. I am your host, Dusty Crane, and this week we got a lot of Scythe news to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. My Little Scythe. I mean, there's Scythe news too. Let's start with My Little Scythe. We got more news on that this week as Jamie and Hobie continued the design diaries. On Monday, Hobie talked about each Kingdom Seeker having different gadgets built into the airship Kai. The wolves, for example, have portals that only they can use. The whole story behind that is kind of like, all these kingdoms work together to build this airship, and they each had their own little gadgets that were particular to them, only they could use. The owls have a ability called the Forbidden Pie, which is one that Hobie says that he enjoys the most. As you can see here, it allows you to immediately gain 2 pies when your seeker loses friendship in a region that the Forbidden Pie token is in. So what that means is, the regions are the different color areas of the board there. So you got like this, kind of this bluish swampish area. If the Forbidden Pie is in that region, then anytime your seeker would lose friendship, you gain 2 pies. And Hobie says, this seems or you'll have to figure out how that best works. And one thing that originally came to me was that you're going to want to have a cache of friendship up close or up front, because once you lose too much, you can't gain trophies. But this would seem to be a good way to maybe get that pie. Achievement, or to get your a pie fight achievement or something like that, or a trophy. You can take a hit, a friendship hit, get a couple pies. Take a friendship hit, get a couple pies. Hobie also mentioned that the airship actually increases productivity, and as a result, the need for more change was such that now instead of needing 4 trophies to win the game, you need 5. So that was something that actually people had asked for, that they would actually have more time to play the game. On Tuesday, Jamie talked about what the delay was. He planned on talking about My Little Scythe Pie in the Sky back in February, and that didn't happen because copies went out to reviewers or people that were going to show previews, and someone contacted him and said, "Hey, I'm missing some pieces," and Jamie explained, yeah, he actually forgot to produce them because they didn't end up in the prototyped rulebook or the prototype component list, and then Chinese New Year was happening, and so that delayed the production of those pieces, and then the coronavirus kept those factories closed a little bit longer, so that delayed it even more. And so that was what Tuesday was about. Wednesday, more stuff. Jamie talks about the fact that there's new quests and new power-ups. Thursday, I don't think we actually got any news on Thursday. I'm sure we did. I couldn't find it. So Thursday, I have no news. But Friday, Jamie talked about enhancing the core game, and by that he meant, and maybe it was Hobie, but instead of adding additional actions on your action selection, you wanted to keep it easy. What happened was, when you seek, you actually have an extra dice you can roll. It's your airship dice, and so you piggyback on that seek action. You do a seek action, you also use the airship. And what I thought was interesting was it stated that obviously the airship has more range than just your regular seeker, but as you get closer to completing your trophies, you don't get quite so much range. And so I hesitate to say that that's like a catch-up mechanism, but it does limit, I guess, you from using the airship's abilities maybe quite as heavily near the end game as in early on. But that probably bears out. We'll see what happens. So that's what I had for My Little Scythe this week. And I'm excited because when I first started the mill, I said, I want to focus on the community, what the community is doing, how they're sharing their love of Stonemaier games, and then the cool things they're doing. And so Jamie's talked all along, there's been a request for, now that Scythe is done and we have all of the expansions we're going to get, we want a rule book that has everything in it, all the expansions, all that rule book in one single book. And Jamie said, they keep their graphic designer busy enough. It wasn't anything that he was interested in tackling, but he put it out there to the community, say, hey, if you think it's something that you want to work on, go right ahead and do it. And so someone did. Matt and Brittany Griep, I believe is how that's pronounced, compiled the ultimate Scythe complete rulebook. It's 136 pages. It includes an FAQ on a card-by-card basis. Jamie calls it an encyclopedia of Scythe. He talks about how, all the mech, abilities and all that information, on pages, and also being respectful of the spoilers. And so, you can avoid those spoilers. It's something that he wants the community's input to know whether or not he should produce. And so he's saying at scale, so if he can get 1,000 of us to say, yes, we'll definitely buy this, then he can make it for no more than $20. That it would be, you're paying for a rule book, and I understand there's that, but this has an FAQ on a card-by-card basis. That is super cool. So I'm going to include a link to Jamie's request in the show description, and you just go ahead and let him know whether this is something you're definitely interested in. You'll buy it for sure. No questions asked. I think he said, love it if that's your situation. Like it if you like the idea, but you have to get to see what the final price is, what it comes down to, all the way up to, there's no wrong answers here, because even the sad emoticon is, hey, I really appreciate the hard work, but I'm just not interested in it. So there's really no wrong way to go about that. But that's not all the community was bringing their love to bear. So I want to go ahead and show you a couple of other things that the community in whole was up to this week. The second thing I wanted to talk about was Brian Kujian had shared this woodworking project that he did to create a resource tray out of the wood of Jatoba. The finish is Danish oil. Anyway, looks great, holds the resources. There's a picture of it right there. So very well done, Brian. The second thing I had was, this is guilty pleasure. This one's mine. I was very excited to share that I added Scythe to my Animal Crossing town. I put a poster on the wall of Scythe, and I said, repping my favorite game, and I felt, pretty clever there, despite the fact that, that's always something that's been able to be done in Animal Crossing. And my coolness only lasted about 2 seconds before Brian Cookstra posted his game room complete with all the Stonemaier Library games, and he posted, here, I'll just show the picture right there, and he went one step further. And if you're familiar with Animal Crossing, you know that the art that's created, you can use QR codes to scan those into your game. He shared all of the QR codes for the Stonemaier Library, so Euphoria, Viticulture, Tapestry, Wingspan, everything you can find. Brian posted those QR codes. I'll include that in the description or the show notes, show description as well. And then I'm really excited about this one. I'm excited. I feel like I was saving the best for last. If you've been paying attention to the Scythe Facebook group, you've probably noticed some posts put up by Daniel Madison. Now, if you don't know that name, you will after this, because as far as I'm concerned, he is one of the greatest paper artists. It looks like paper art that we've seen, and the fact that he's bringing Scythe into it is something that's super cool. So he started by posting just kind of almost like a little, I don't know if it's necessarily the right name of it, but it's almost like a little chibi art, a little papercraft of each of the different factions, and you see like the wool or the airships, and then you see Tagawa and Albion, and you see the Roosviet mechs, and it's all very cute. And he came and said that he has this idea to do a comic, a Scythe comic, and I reached out to him and asked if there was any art that I could share on the mill, because I wanted to talk about it with you guys. And he actually sent me a couple of things that he had sent to Jamie, kind of pitching an idea that he had. And so I wanted to share it, because what I think is really cool is, a lot of us look at these encounter cards in Scythe, and we kind of take the art at face value, and art is beautiful, of course, no question about it. This is the original encounter card 24, and you can see the different options. And even though the art looks like this on the card, this is what Daniel cooked up. And I'm just going to go ahead and read the caption that he has on this website. for you to check out. It says, the Saxony troops were always happy to try and give directions to a damsel lost in the woods. Nero was always happy to borrow their mech. And so that's one of those where, you know, you have the option to do the thing and gain a mech. And this cute art is, you know, kind of showing, you know, playfully showing what that looks like in his art style. And I like that, you know, we have, you know, the little wink there saying, you know, hey, you know, I'm lost. And you know, you get the mech running off in the background. Really cute. Another one that he showed me there was this card right here. You may be familiar with the big, you have a choice to make. You know, there's a cable cut, and this particular caption on this picture is, the miner was amazed at his good fortune. A kind passerby had just knocked on his door to tell him his mineshaft cable had snapped, but was able to offer an immediate repair and only for a small fee. And you see, you know, his hand behind his back, and he's holding the scissors, and it's just so funny. I love, like, kind of the comedy and the cuteness, the art, and how it actually looks like Papercraft is just amazing. Now, if you go and you check out his Instagram, which I will post in the show notes as well, but it's Instagram/Roshaka, Roshaka, and you can actually see he shows kind of like a step-by-step process. So this is, you know, the finished product, and then a little less detail and a little less detail, and then you got like a wireframe, and it's all incredible. And he's got some extra art there on his Instagram, and it's not only Scythe. I mean, I'm looking at it right here. He's got some Final Fantasy VII, kind of a tribute since that just came out recently, and it's just gorgeous. And so I was really, really excited to share that, because it's unlike anything I've seen in terms of like the art that has been created for Scythe. And so I highly recommend you give his Instagram a like. And that is what I had for you this week. I'm just going to go ahead and let the art speak for itself. It was a lot of fun to share that. I was looking forward to that. So My Little Scythe, coming soon, very soon for order. We have the complete rule book that's out there. Let Jamie know whether or not you're interested in it or not. A little focus on the community, and if you have Animal Crossing and you want those games on your walls, hit up Brian for those QR codes, and then Daniel just doing fantastic work in this format. Daniel Madison, thank you so much for sharing your talent with us, and I look forward to seeing future comics. I hope you post those out there on the Scythe Facebook group. That is all I have for you this week. Until next week, take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching, and just stay home, stay safe. All right, I want to see you guys here next week. Bye.
You said take care of yourself, but you didn't say take care of others.
You're right. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. On behalf of me, my wife, my snoring dog over here on the couch, thanks again for watching. Bye.